cab like that. Is that okay? That was the benefit of you guys using that. Now I'm just going to put that aside for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this. Okay, can you remember what this one was?
What, the one that sits?
AKG.
Not AKG, no. It's an E606. So what's the manufacturer? Sennheiser, brilliant. So we learned something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hang this off the front of the cab. Watch this. You might want to stand up and see it if you can. Tell you what I'm also going to do as well, guys. Now we're back down here. I'm just going to shuffle that camera around if that's okay. Sorry. 2 seconds. Sorry. Oh. Right, happy days. So, the 606, okay, is a designated guitar mic with a frequency response that's going to suit that instrument. If you can't see, I'll tell you what I'll do. The position of it's going to change, obviously I'm going to put it back, but can you see this here? I'm going to put the guitar mic through the handle like this, but notice what I'm going to do with it. If I just put the wire there like that, and hang it with the front like that, okay, notice where did we say the front had to be? Facing the speaker, not facing the front of the audience, okay? So if I do that, look, and I just hang it through the mic, through the handle like this, if the guitar amp rocks and rolls during the gigs like most of them do, people jumping up on stage, what's going to happen to my microphone?
It's going to go out of place. It's
going to go out of place, and more importantly, it's going to end up on the floor and get trampled on, okay? Watch what we can do. What I can do is not put the microphone connected to it right now, put a loop through the wire like this. Is that okay? So it's basically going to support the weight of the mic if you like, and then hang it in front of the cab. Now luckily it's landed perfect. It's gone. I'm just going in the centre of the cab. We're not sound checking it, so we're not making a sound out of it. I know Callum, we discussed doing that the other week, but that's happy for me, okay? But look, sometimes it does that. Now what you can do and what you can find is you fight with it and you try twisting and turning it, but it's actual wire forcing it back around again. Get it in. Right, so what you can do, look, is just very, very carefully work which way it goes and twist the wire at the top here. Just roll it with your fingers and it'll flip itself into the right position. Is that okay? But at least that mic is not going to drop any further forward because you've got not a tight knot round it, but just a loose knot to stop it sliding down. Is that cool? Right? So that's going to be the guitar mic. Watch this. I'm going to put this over here. And what I'm going to try and do with the spare cable is keep it nice and neat. So I'm going to try and keep it wrapped up as much as possible, like that. Okay? Next off, we're going to do the DI and the bass amplifier. We could stick a mic in front of it. What mic would we use if we were going to do so?
845.
845 is a vocal mic.
D6.
Keep going. D6.
D6.
D6, yeah, well done. Okay, Audix, yeah, good. We don't have that available to us this time though.
Thinking that big chunky one.
That big chunky one, fantastic. Don't call it that big chunky one in your assessment, please, okay? Use your common sense, pick it up and go, alright, E602. Look at it before you shout it out if you need to. Okay? That big chunky one is a suitable bass amplifier mic, but what does it mean we have to do, remember?
Is that connected onto a certain clip or something?
Well, not a certain clip, it's got the thread for the mic stand. So what you might do is if, I don't know Callum, if you're going to go for the 57 option on the guitar cab, absolutely fine with me, man. But if Callum uses that short clip on there, and this is obviously going to be for our lead vocalist, we're going to have to find another mic stand, which we have got available to us. But that means you're putting that in like that, okay? Could we see a benefit of not using a microphone? Remember doing the demonstration last week with the bass guitar? What was the benefit, James, of not using the microphone?
Didn't get any of the actual feedback from the rest of it.
Fantastic. It was cleaner on stage, wasn't it? Okay, we could turn the bass guitar up. The sound engineer, unfortunately, was showing her, wasn't it, getting shouted at because all the audience was saying, "Can you get rid of that feedback?" She panicked with all the feedback going on. But when we DI'd it, it was nice and clean, wasn't it? It was much easier to work with. So obviously, if we can demonstrate that and do it with the DI box, we're happy. So the DI box, if you remember rightly, it's a direct injection, it's got an input, it's got a link, and it's got an output. So the input is going to be the bass guitar. Now again, because we're not testing and because we're not actually making sounds out of things, that is my bass guitar. You can see that on the video. That is the cable that will get plugged into the bass guitar. Then I've just got the short jack-to-jack cable here that's going to go out of the link, and where's it going to go to, Paul? So that's the bass guitar itself. Let me try and do it visually for you. Where's the link wanting to go? So the bass player can hear themselves.
Input.
Fantastic. Input on what? Yeah, okay, so let's change the speaker to amplifier, okay? Well done, Paul, I know what you meant, man, that's great. So, notice I'm going to try and keep that cable wrapped up nice and neat as well. So there's my input, my bass guitar going into the DI box, the link goes into the amplifier as the input, okay? After that, we need another short mic lead, and then that's going to go out of the output, and then, obviously, I'm trying to hold on up to that point. So, notice, I've got the microphones for the drum kit still to pick here. I could use this thing here. What's that?
Is that the one that goes into the bass drum?
Hopefully, it's one of them. Do you know what it is though, specifically, Cheryl? Can you remember the make and model? Rectangular shape. Can you remember this one, Cheryl? No one's been on these websites, have they?
The boundary microphone.
This is the boundary mics we're talking about. Go on, James, you whisper so much.
I know it's sure.
That's Shure. Okay, can anyone remember the model number? Nathan, unfortunately, you're closest, Bob. Beta 91, fantastic. So this is a Shure Beta 91 microphone. This is a Sennheiser E901. So these are the two options that you could go inside. If you haven't used that for the bass amp, you could also use that. Okay? There's three options in the box that you could pick. Which one are we going to go for? Why? And which Sennheiser? There's two options.
Oh,
The flat one. Why?
E901.
Yeah, why? That's what we did last time. Okay. It's a good choice. Anyone give me a better answer? Because obviously when we're deploying microphones, we're going to sort of explain why we're picking certain things and where we're positioning it.
Is it easier to put it like inside the bottom of the kick?
Okay. Potentially it looks like it's going to be easier because it's flat, okay? But I can stick that flat in as well. Right, so what's the difference between these two microphones? Right, Paula Patton's is a good winner. Now we're talking technical terms. They're both cardioid though. This is what they call this half cardioid really, obviously, but it's the way it's flat. But so they're both cardioids, so it doesn't have a winner so far.
Frequency response?
Okay, yeah, good. Do you know them off the top of your head?
No.
Okay, right, this and this are different types of microphones. This is one type, this is a dynamic. This is a condenser, well done. Dylan, do you know the difference between dynamic and condenser? Any knowledge on dynamic or condensers?
Condensers for softer sounds, isn't it?
Potentially, yeah, good. So we're actually saying use it for a kick drum though, Dylan. Does that not scare you a bit? Is a kick drum soft? Depends who's playing it, obviously, but let's say no. So why am I saying put a condenser inside a kick drum? Why have they designed a condenser to go inside a kick drum? Thinking about frequency response. Which is bigger, Andrew? The dynamic or the condenser?
Like physically?
No, like frequency response. Which is going to capture more frequencies?
I want to say dynamic.
But you don't want to say that, do you?
Well, that's what I do want to say.
Right, well, I don't want you to say that. So you say something else.
Condenser.
Right, well done. Good answer, Andrew. Okay, so Andrew wanted to say dynamic, but this doesn't give us a fuller frequency range. This doesn't give us a more flatter frequency range. This does. So why make both things? This picks up like a boomy, rounded sound. This picks up a nice slap and attack. So what do you want?
Different sounds.
Different sounds, okay? Now, ironically, they've picked them to go in both. They want you to use both mics. They want you to spend 400 quid instead of just 200 quid on one of them. They want that to go inside, and they want this to go on the sound hole. That's what the design's for, okay? This will capture all the resonance of the shell, like the low-end rumble, to give a like the thuddy, rounded sound, and this will capture the nice click sound that's inside. So that bigger hits the skin, nice bright attack. That'll capture it, nice flat frequency response. That'll give you a perfect slapper sound, and this will give you a perfect low-end thud. Okay? You've got it on two separate channels, mixing them together. Guess what it gives you?
The rounded sound.
Round sound, a full picture, if you like. Is that okay? However, today, and for the assessment, I don't care about the full sounds, and I don't want you to put two on there, but that's why kick in and kick out. You might see it when you're doing your studio stuff with Jamie. I'm going to go for kick in because it's easier. Is that okay? I want you guys though not to tell me that it's easy. I want you to tell me that it's going to be a condenser mic. It's going to pick up wider frequency range, flatter frequency range. It'll pick up the attack of the beater, and it will still get some thud of the drum. Is that okay? Does that make sense?
So you said frequency range, but if it's for the bass drum, and like you're only missing 4,000, like 16,000 to 20,000, like does that really matter if it's only 4,000?
This would be flatter though, is it, to give you more of a natural sound across the scale, whereas this has like a big dip at like sort of 800, 600, somewhere region like that. It takes out some of like your mid, scoops that out. So you've got your thud, you've got your a bit of a click, but this is much brighter and sharper to give you that nice natural snap. So that there is designated to go inside the kick drum, an inch away from the beater head. Okay. So when you put it in, it wants to be about that off the front skin, angled towards the beater. So, okay, so it hits the skin, this captures it nice and cleanly straight away. Okay? So that's going to go inside the kick drum. Notice that the Shure, if you decide to pick it, it's the same thing really, it's designed for the same reason, and this should be used in conjunction with that Beta 52 that we talked about. So Shure, Beta 91 and Beta 52 is their combination that they made, same as the E901 and 602 is their combination that they made. Okay, so same purpose, same dual purpose, right? But we want to get that inside there, and we obviously need a mic lead attaching. On the Shure, you don't need one. So, am I going to use a 10-meter mic lead for any of the mics?
The ones at that side, you want to use a longer one because of the
Well done, good thinking, Joe. Keep going.
multi-core thing, yeah.
Right, yeah, you happy with that? Joe, tell her why she doesn't have to worry. You don't know? I know. What did we do last week when we did this, Joe?
With the wire?
Well, yeah, to stop stretching all the way around. Because what Cheryl's thinking is, I have to put that microphone all the way around.
So we just run it through the middle?
Say again, man.
We just run it through the middle?
No, because that's 50 metres away.
Oh, what's that box
Was that
called?
last week or the week before?
Now Dylan's thinking.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, we have the weed box and white next to the drums.
Excellent. Can you remember what that was called, Andrew?
No, that's why it's called a weird box.
Yeah.
I knew what it was called, that's all.
Yeah, okay.
The mini car.
He's right, it is a weird box. But anyway, it's that breakout box or satellite box we refer to it as. James's understanding of stage box absolutely fine, it's the same thing, you know, but this is the stage box. So this thing here, we have a few of these. On a bigger show we have 4 of these dotted around the stage. We have the multi-core in the middle of the monitor situation where the on-stage monitor engineer is, but we have like 4 of these positioned all the way around the side of the stages in each corner. Why? So we can be a bit more flexible. If you walk on and say I want 16 channels over here, I don't have to run 16 mic leads across there, I can just plug it into this. We don't use this one, this is just a scabby one I made up second hand, but you know, if you're using pro shows, you'll have stage boxes all over basically, or satellite boxes all over the stage, so you can just go to the nearest one. But that does mean it's a patching nightmare. You've got to remember that that's number 1 over there, but that's going to be number 14 and so on, so it gets a little bit more technical. Watch this though, so that weird box, wacky box that Andrew tells us about, needs to be buried into the drum kit, okay? And you need to tidy it, put it right round the kit without killing yourself if possible. Notice I'm trying to do the hand over hand thing to keep it as clean as possible. And I know it's only you and me in the room at the same time doing this, but again, just show on the video that you're trying to eliminate old cables. Have you ever seen this room look so tidy? Yeah? You have now?
No, I have.
You have?
Yeah, but we have to do lighting on top.
You were still making washing noise. Right, okay, so I'm only going to put I'm only going to put 7 channels into this, why? Well, the bass is still going to get connected to that box, remember?
It's for the vocal.
Well done, Callum. So what are you going to do with that, man? Put it straight into the box, okay? And actually, when I said, are you ever going to use a 10-meter mic lead? I am. I'm going to use a 10-meter mic lead for this person. Why?
That's the concept.
It's going around, yeah. Get the mic lead off. You don't want to put a 5-meter wire on it or 2-meter wire on it because they'll go like that, and it's like I've got no space. So, watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to pick my favourite microphone. My Sennheiser E65. 65, what's that?
It's a condenser, 'cause it's got a red line.
Excellent. So what does that mean we have to do on the mixing desk?
Phantom power.
Brilliant. Tell me that when you set this up. Okay, and watch my mic lead. I'm going to go with the big part of it, the big bundle of mic lead, right round, and literally connect it from the floor up here. What does leaving that pile there allow the singer to do? So they can pick it up and do that. If I put the big pile that side, I'm still making it more of a hazard for them. So leave the coil down there by their feet and the other side of the mic stand, so they can actually walk anywhere in this distance here and not get tangled up, because it's hopefully going to be the other side of the mic. Yeah, loads of people like to do this, and then loads of singers come straight on, take the wire back out and unwrap it and put it straight in. What was the point? I have wrapped wires round mic stands, and I do it sometimes, but I do it for guitar players or bass players or keyboard players. Why? They're static, aren't they? Okay? But lead singers like to take it off and walk this way, walk that way. So you can't necessarily tie them to the mic stand. Okay? Lead singers will always unravel it and put it back because they know they're going to walk off. Most lead singers take the mic off and chuck the mic stand out of the way because they don't want it. They just want to walk around with the mic all the time. But we're just setting it up for them, so that's happy. Right, so the last thing to do really is to select, so this one here, condenser mic, well done for shouting that out just quickly. And also beneficial for things that are softer voices, female voices, that type of thing, okay? If I wanted to be rock and roll, what type of mic would I use? Screaming and shouting down the mic, what would I need? Dynamic mic, fantastic. And not the E64, no. No. 845.
Oh, it's got three numbers.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, 845. So 845 is the dynamic version, 865 is that version. If you want to say they're 58, absolutely fine. I have got two 58s, but I think they're in there after I've sprayed that whatever cleaner it was, aerosol cleaner on it. So now you'll see me putting these things together. What am I putting these for? Drums. Be more specific, or drums? Snare and toms, well done, yeah, okay. So these are for the snare and toms. How many snare and toms do I have?
3 toms.
3 toms and a snare. So I need how many setting up? 4, okay? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in the box like this, ready to go. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to use them. There will be 2 57s in here when you do your assessment, by the way, okay? What would we use 57s for if you wanted to? You could use it on the snare, okay? That's your discretion, again, okay? However, when you're doing this, you could say I would use a 57 on the snare usually. However, the idea of this having a clip-on makes it a lot easier and more manageable, okay? But it's the same frequency response. It's designated mids and high-end frequency response for the snare. They're perfect for snares, good for brass, good for vocals as well. These can be used for every now and then. But in the situation, we're going to use them on the toms because they've got the clips on, so that they'll hopefully stay out of the way of the drum kit and keep it nice and tidy without having loads of mic stands buried around it, okay? So watch this. I'm going to try and put them on first. Make sure that when, I know that cymbal's not set up properly, but what I always try and do if I'm putting a mic anywhere close to a cymbal is actually move the cymbal up and down, spin it round, whatever, because if the drummer braves that right now, is there any chance on God's earth that that's going to hit that mic at all? If I'm doing this, the mic's right underneath there, is there any chance of that hitting any position?
No.
No? So I've tested that before the drummer actually plays. It's not set up in the right position, don't panic, but just so you know, that's what I do to make sure that it's not going to hit anything. So then we're going to put these on like this, and the final task to do is to connect them up. What channel order am I going to do these in, Joe?
Would you do the main big one first?
Give me more technical knowledge than the main big one.
What the name of the drums were?
What's the main big one called? Ask a friend.
Zero.
Well, if it's the one on the bottom, kick.
Yeah, kick them.
Kick then, yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. That's what I knew what I meant, I still don't know.
Yeah, man, that's cool. So, hopefully, Joe, by next week, when you come in, you'll be able to say, I'm going to put this on the kick drum, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Notice that while you were talking there, I've grabbed 5 mic leads. Why? There's 5 microphones needed. Instead of just doing one, going back and getting a second one, going back and getting a third one, and so on, okay? So, I also need my kick drum mic, which I've put down somewhere magical. Where have I put it? Did I put it in? So that's it. I've even got a mic lead for it already. Perfect. Sorry, I put it down when I wasn't paying attention. So, kick drum's going to be number one. Watch this then. I'm going to put this right inside on the cloth, obviously, angled up as best as I can. Now watch the rest of this mic lead. What I'm going to try and do is get just enough length from the tail end here, look, and connect it to channel 1 like we just said, put it through the drum leg as well, and actually try then to put this there. Why? Fantastic. Tripping hazards is the first one, but it also looks neat, and if there's a fault with the kick drum mic and we don't go, oh, I've lost the kick drum, where is it? I can literally grab that wire, pull it out, and I can see if it's still connected, or I can replace it very quickly. So I'm going to do the same with the snare, but look, this time I'm going to plug it into channel 2, and I'm going to do hand over hand. You could, if you really want to, put it through there. The only worry about doing it all there is sometimes if the drummer's moving it and pulling it and dragging it and stuff like that, your wires are going to get absolutely trounced. So I don't mind the kick drum one going there. It's because it's not a great drama. It would help if these were wrapped up properly. You might have to lose that altogether. Never mind. We can fix it, don't worry. If it's wrapped up nice and neatly, it means when you do the hand over hand, it's just quick and easy to get hold of it. So if I put that on right there, walk around the kit, and connect it up with the snare drum, position it where it's not going to get battered, and on these clips, I don't know if you've seen last week, but there's like a little cable gland on the back end of it. Can you see that one? I don't know if it's too buried, but have a look at this next one, you'll see it on the next one. So it just keeps the cable nice and neat and out of the way. This is channel 3. And again, mic lead in the clip at the back. Channel 4. And then finally channel 5. This is for the kit, obviously. So what follows the kit? What joins next? What do we connect after the kit?
You go that way,
You tell me.
Guitar first and bass.
You tell me. Which one are you giving me?
Well,
You're saying guitar. Any other takers?
Bass.
Why? Sorry, Kirsty, go on.
I don't know why.
You don't know why?
Is it because nothing you can attach it to, that box thing? No.
It's not because of that reason. What are drums and bass?
Low range. frequency.
Low range, yeah, I get that, but what are they? Unless I play like a piccolo bass. They're the rhythm section, aren't they? So the drums and the bass are like the backbone of the band. The rhythm section of the band, they're keeping the groove and the rhythm going, so they want to be together, and then it's guitar players, no one cares what guitar players they go. Right, so watch this. The iBox. Hopefully, I know you guys did this last week, I believe. You realise, well, it's just a short journey. I could just go from there to there. That's absolutely fine if you want to do that. I don't care. But I'm going to try to go into this back box just because then I'll know I've done everything. That's my mentality behind it. We know we've got 8 channels to mic up. We know that the vocal mic's actually in the front already, so I'm expecting 7 wires there. Sometimes people just get panicked and rush and forget things, and I can just put that wire nicely under the DI box, nice and neat, no tripping hazards. And then this one doesn't have far to go. Take a couple of strands, a couple of wraps off it, and that can literally go into channel 7, that's the next channel. And there's your assessment done, eh? Scary? No? Right, so we started at 8:30. Time we on now? Well, actually we started a little bit late, didn't we? About 1:45-ish. So an hour and a half, potentially hour and a quarter, really, and we're there. Anyone stressed? No? A little bit? Okay, cool. Anyone else? So next week is the perfect opportunity for you guys to come in and have 2 hours with everything yourself and me and to walk through it all. We're actually going to do it, we're going to video it like this. I'm going to walk you through, I'm going to say, right, if you come in and you're quite confident, I'll say crack on, do what you can do. And when you get to the point going, I'm stuck now, I don't know what to do anymore, then I'll chip in, okay? If you walk in open-handed and go, I haven't got a clue about any of this, help me out, I'll walk you through it. I'll say, right, let's grab these base pins, let's move them out, let's get these rods in here, let's big stand in here, let's get the mid-tops on top, let's put the monitors where they're going to go, let's put the amp rack here, let's do this, and we'll walk around it. I'll help you out, I'll hold your hand through the process, if you like, unofficially. Does that make sense? Is everyone happy with that? Right, what I'm going to ask you to do then, because there's one last thing on the assessment criteria you have to do, and that's create a risk assessment. So what I'm going to say is, go for a 20-minute break, clear your heads, come back fresh. We're going to look at the health and safety aspect, and we're going to create ourselves a risk assessment for this as well. So we've got something else ready to go at, okay? Is that cool? Everyone happy with that? Well, if you want to take a break, man, we're going to have a conversation when you get back if you want to. Just about that.
Just, I'm going to say,
Vocal mics number 8, yeah. So it's kick number 1, snare number 2, tom 1, number 3, tom 2, number 4, floor tom number 5, bass DI number 6, or bass mic, guitar mic number 7, vocal mic number 8. Done. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
If anyone wants to, feel free to have a wander around. I'll leave it all set up like this. If you want to come and take pictures, I mean, go for a drink first, come do whatever you need to do. But when you're back, if you're in the room and you want to have a wander around, feel free. If you want to have a play with the desk, do it. I don't care. If anyone's got any like burning questions on any of this, but doesn't want to ask straight away, just like send me a message on Teams or whatever. I'll get that video camera ripped off and I'll make it available for you guys. I'll send you the link on Teams so you can get access to that as well.
I think I filmed the last bit because of phone died.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So you were you on an iPhone or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Which one?
So,
Got a charge?
yeah.
You need your phone charged?
yeah, I do actually, yes please.
What one is?
It's
Mini.
an iPhone 6.
It should have the. Let's have a look at this connection to me. Just at the bottom. House. Yes, look. Yes, sorry. Just checking that. I can't remember what it's swapped to me. I'm offering that charger. You should have it.
I've got USB-C.
Have you got? It's iPhone, mate. It's the lightning connector. Is that like? Is that the iPhone?
You can connect it to the computer.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll find you a transformer block though if you want to get back chucking off the voltage. Try this here, sure.
Oh, yeah.
It'll give you more current than the.
Yeah, thanks very much.
No problem.